Are these the best bow vices out there? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with podiumarcher.com, looking at the not new, but the Baker bow vices. Now, we just started carrying these again, and I don't know much about them, so I wanted to take a look at the differences between the main two vices. Now, granted, they sell these in all kinds of kits with all kinds of different mounting attachments and whatnot, but we're going to look at the two basic vices. From what I understand, this is the original ball mount bow vise. Loosen this up here. This is a handle for on here. Got it. Okay, so we'll set this up here. Clampy, clampy. So I think how these work is they clamp on any part of the bow, whether it's the handle or the riser, etc. So it's a lot like the Last Chance Revolution, but these have been in existence a lot longer than the Last Chance Revolution. So this is a smaller company out of Idaho that doesn't really sell to a lot of places, and we just finally convinced them to let us sell their vices. Because if it's a tool and the guy at home's going to use it or a shop's going to use it, I want to sell it and I want to be able to talk about it and show it to people. So that was my hope. You would want to screw this down to a counter. For today, I'm just trying to clamp it with a vise, and then we'll grab a bow and see how it works. So, assuming like that. So you can rotate it just like anything else. You'd put a level on it to set your levels. And loosen this knob and kind of rotate it however you want. It does feel very rigid. And when you tighten it down, one of the things I'm noticing from it is like it doesn't give. A lot of times with almost every other vise we've played with, when you try to hold it into a position and lock it down, it's like you let go of it, it moves a little bit and falls back into position. This really doesn't do that. They do make like a floor mount stand for this. They make mounts to hook it directly to your easy press, which is pretty cool. And you can still free-floatingly rotate this however you want for working on it. It just feels, without a better explanation of it, it feels incredibly rigid. I know they also make a micro adjust mount for this as well, and I'm assuming you could mount this in here any way you want and could put anything in here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bow. And you can probably mount it on your limb. You can mount it on your lower portion of your riser if you wanted. You could probably put your stabilizer through there and clamp on that if you wanted. So it's more of a universal attachment system, which is pretty sweet. Now what I'm curious about is the difference between the Pro Shop vise and the ball mount bow vise, because I don't think there's a big difference between them, but it's the newer version or the newer model. So let's see what we got that makes that different than this. So is that mounting to your counter there? Oh, and you can adjust the height of it. That's got to be what it is. So we'll see if I can, I don't think I can do this with a clamp without screwing it to the counter. So I may need to actually get some screws and screw this down. Yeah, that ain't going to work. Unless I had a shallow clamp. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, there we go. So this is probably more of a micro-driven system for adjusting the height of it. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. So once you mount it in your vise, right, and you can rotate this, there's a clamp for that. I think this is probably a little easier to get it set perfectly level out of the gate. I know that has an option that you can buy a micro system, but this kind of looks like it has a micro built into it. Now granted, you're still going to screw it to a counter here on those plates, right, and mount that down. That pin assembly comes off, and mount that to a counter. But it looks like it's got the same rotating head option, and it also looks like that might be a little micro as well. If I'm doing this right or not. I might have needed to tighten that before I put this in. Yeah, I think you do. But this does look like it's kind of got a built-in micro adjustability. Now granted, it's not of the same ball head, so it's going to be a slower moving deal, But once you get it set, especially if this is, yeah, there we go, that's a little more like it. If this is like in a permanent situation or you're using this at home, which I know they call it the Pro Shop vise, but for a guy putting the same bow in it at home, when you get kind of the adjustments of where you want it set, the rotational positions, and then lock it down and hold it, this might be a little nicer for the home use guy. The ball head is really cool just because it's easy to rotate it around really fast, and time will tell which one of these is going to be more relevant in our shop because we're going to start playing with them. But if you're primarily buying this to level your bow and not work on your bow, this version does look like it would work a lot better for that. Now granted, you can purchase a micro system for the other ones where you can drive and rotate the bow into a given position to check your levels. But either of these do appear to be a little easier to operate in that regard than the other vices that we've been using. So we will probably experiment with these in the shop a little bit and see if they're going to work out a little better for us. And the micro one will definitely be a strong consideration. Plus the ball, I think this is probably a little more universal usage tool. But if your primary application is putting a bow in this and setting your levels, which is frequently what vices are used for, this will work a little better than that, and it does appear to have reasonable levels of micro adjustability to rotate it and finitely set your bow in an appropriate position to get that on there. You know, comment down below on, I know these have been around a little bit and this is our first experience with them, so there's probably some people out there that have had this that want to chime in with their own 2 cents and tell me what's right and wrong or indifferent about this video or these products. But all in all, these are really rigid, built really well, and I think will work very well for the consumer. So we do have them on our website. Head on over to podiumarcher.com for all those archery news, including these. And we do have several of the universal kits that have pedestal mounts, things like that. We don't carry the one with the floor stand because it's so big. But if that's something you guys want, please comment down below and let me know it's something you want us to carry, and we will carry them with our new relationship with Baker here. But these are pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to using them in our videos and some of the stuff down at the shop there. See what really truly works better. But I have a strong feeling these might be the best working one on the market. But I don't know. You tell me. Give me your feedback. Let me know. Thanks for watching.